Good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here today. There's a specific type of wound that cuts deeper than direct betrayal. It's the wound of discovering that someone's public affection for you is a performance, that the warmth they show to your face evaporates the moment you leave the room, that they collect your trust like currency, but spend it buying approval from people who don't even know you. And you need to know this is happening. You need to understand that someone in your circle is playing both sides of a very cruel game. To your face, they love you. They text you, they make plans, they act interested in your life, they laugh at your jokes and ask about your day and show up when it's convenient. But behind your back, they're embarrassed by you, embarrassed to claim you fully, embarrassed to defend you when others criticize, embarrassed to be associated with you in certain contexts or around certain people. And that's the truth you need to face. Not because I want to hurt you, but because you deserve to stop giving your heart to someone who's ashamed of it. So let's explore this. Who this person might be, why they're operating this way, how to recognize the signs, and what it means about them, not about you. Take what resonates here. This is about protecting yourself from conditional love. You remain in control of who you trust, always. This is simply an invitation to see clearly what you might have been avoiding. Let me start by describing what this dynamic looks like in practice, because it's subtle. These people are skilled at maintaining the facade. They know how to make you feel valued in private while distancing themselves from you in public. They've mastered the art of selective visibility. When it serves them to be connected to you, they're all in. When it doesn't, you become invisible, optional, someone they know but don't really know. You might notice they don't post you on social media even though they post everyone else. They don't mention you in conversations with their other friends. They don't invite you to group gatherings. When you show up somewhere, they're friendly but brief, like they're worried about being seen with you for too long, like your presence requires explanation they don't want to give. And when you're alone together, they're a different person, warmer, more engaged. They tell you things. They lean on you. They make you feel special in the privacy of one-on-one interaction. And that's what keeps you hooked. That's what makes the public coldness confusing instead of clarifying. Now, let me talk about who this person might be, because the energy shows up in different relationship contexts. For some of you, this is someone you're dating or involved with romantically. They say they care about you in private. They want your time, your attention, your emotional support, but they won't claim you publicly, won't introduce you as their partner, won't let their friends or family know you exist in any significant way. They keep you compartmentalized, secret, like loving you is something they're ashamed to admit. For others, this is a friend, someone who's close to you when it's just the two of you, who calls when they need something, who shows up for you in certain ways, but who diminishes your importance around their other friends, who doesn't defend you when you're criticized, who laughs along when others mock you or make you the target of jokes you're not present to hear. For some, this is family, someone related to you who's supportive in private but distances themselves from you publicly, who's embarrassed by your choices, your lifestyle, your struggles. who loves you in theory but doesn't want to be too visibly connected to you in practice because of what it might say about them. And for a few, this might be professional, someone who benefits from your work, your ideas, your labor, but who doesn't credit you properly, who takes what you give but doesn't acknowledge the source because associating with you doesn't elevate their status the way they need it to. Let me ask you something. Have you felt this discrepancy? This sense that someone's hot when you're alone and cold when others are watching? Have you noticed they treat you differently depending on context? That they're enthusiastic about you in text messages but vague about you in conversations with mutual friends? That they want your presence in private but your absence in public is less than #0. 5# is greater than. If you felt that, trust it. Your intuition is picking up on the inconsistency, on the fact that their affection comes with conditions, that their love for you is real in some ways, but not unconditional, not consistent, not willing to stand in full light. You know what I'm picking up on most strongly? The why. Why someone would love you to your face and be embarrassed behind your back. And the answer is always the same. It's about them, not you. It's about their insecurity, their need for external validation, their fear that being openly associated with you will lower their status in the eyes of people whose opinions they value more than your feelings. They care more about what others think than they care about you. That's the bottom line. They want the benefits of connection with you, your support, your energy, your presence when it serves them, but they're not willing to pay the social cost of claiming you fully, of defending you, of being proud to know you regardless of who's watching. And that says everything about their character. Nothing about your worth. Let me slow down here because I need to address how this makes you feel. Being loved conditionally, being someone's secret source of shame while also being their private source of comfort. It creates cognitive dissonance. You can't reconcile the two versions of how they treat you. So you blame yourself. You think if you were different, better, more successful, more socially acceptable, they wouldn't be embarrassed. You internalize their shame as evidence of your inadequacy. But that's wrong. Their embarrassment is their problem. Their inability to love you consistently says nothing about whether you're lovable. It says they're weak, that they're more invested in image than integrity, that they value perception over people. And those are character flaws in them, not deficiencies in you. Drop a comment if you're realizing who this is about as you listen. If someone specific is coming to mind. If you've been making excuses for behavior that you're now recognizing as this exact pattern, because naming it is the first step to addressing it, to deciding what you're going to do with this truth now that you can see it clearly. You know what else I'm sensing? You've known on some level, you've known they're embarrassed even if you haven't named it directly. You've felt the shift in their energy when others are around. You've noticed the way they position themselves physically away from you in group settings, the way they don't include you in stories they tell, The way they refer to you as a friend instead of my close friend, or avoid mentioning you altogether, you've known, but you've been hoping you're wrong, hoping you're reading too much into things, hoping that if you just give them more time, more understanding, more proof that you're worthy, they'll eventually claim you fully, but they won't. Because the problem isn't your worthiness, it's their cowardice. Let's sit with this for a moment. What if the kindest thing you could do for yourself is release people who love you conditionally? What if you stopped accepting affection that comes with a side of shame? What if you decided that you deserve people who are proud to know you, who don't hide you, who don't code switch about you depending on their audience, who love you the same in public as they do in private, who defend you when you're not in the room, who claim you fully or not at all, because that's the standard. That's what real love looks like. Consistent, public, unashamed. And anything less isn't real love. It's convenience. It's using you for what you provide while distancing from what you represent. Let me offer you guidance about what to do with this information. First, stop making excuses for them. Stop telling yourself they're just private people or they're protecting you by not broadcasting your connection. If they wanted to claim you, they would. If they were proud to know you, it would show. Their behavior is telling you exactly how they feel. Believe it. Second, create distance. Not necessarily dramatic cutting off, but pull back your energy. Stop being so available. Stop giving them access to the parts of you they don't value enough to publicly acknowledge. Let the relationship exist at the level they're comfortable with, which is apparently superficial and conditional, and stop pouring deep, authentic connection into it. Third, observe how they respond to your distance. Do they notice? Do they care? Do they reach out and ask what changed? Or do they just let you fade without effort to maintain connection? Their response tells you everything about whether this relationship is worth salvaging. Fourth, stop internalizing their shame. Their embarrassment is about them, not you. They're embarrassed because they care too much what others think, because they lack the courage to love people who don't fit into their aesthetic or social strategy. That's their limitation, not your flaw. Fifth, find people who aren't embarrassed by you, who brag about knowing you, who introduce you proudly, who defend you in rooms you never enter, who love you consistently regardless of who's watching. Those people exist. And you can't find them while you're settling for people who hide you. Let me ask you one final question. What would your life look like if everyone in it loved you the way you love them? Openly, consistently, without shame. What would it feel like to not wonder if people talk about you differently when you're not there? To know that how they treat you in private matches how they speak about you publicly, to be claimed, celebrated, defended by the people who have access to you, that's available to you. But not while you're accepting conditional love from people who are embarrassed by you. Not while you're giving heart space to people who won't give you public space. You have to make room for better by releasing worse. Here's what I want you to remember. You are not too much. You are not an embarrassment. You are not the problem in this equation. The person who loves you to your face but hides you behind your back, they're the problem. Their weakness, their cowardice, their inability to love past their own insecurity. And you deserve better. You deserve people who are proud to know you, who brag about your friendship, who can't wait to introduce you to others because they think you're amazing and want everyone to know it, who love you loudly, publicly, consistently. Those people exist, but you won't find them while you're tolerating people who make you feel small. Take what resonates from this reading, leave what doesn't, and remember that you remain in control of your boundaries, of who you give access to, of what behavior you accept from people who claim to care about you. In your face, they love you. Behind your back, they're embarrassed. And now you know. Now you can see it clearly. Now you can decide what you're going to do with that truth. Trust your inner knowing. Trust the dissonance you've been feeling. Trust that you deserve consistency. Trust that love shouldn't make you feel like a secret or a source of shame. Trust that you're worthy of people who claim you proudly in every context. Thank you for being here. Thank you for facing difficult truths. Thank you for being brave enough to see what you've been avoiding. You're exactly where you need to be. Seeing clearly, understanding the dynamic, preparing to choose yourself over people who won't choose you consistently. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.